Cleveland, Ohio. The final verdict on the Cleveland Cavaliers won't be delivered until the 2018 NBA Finals in June. Or at least, whenever the Cavs face the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. So that's 6 months away. But watching the Cavs this season has been far more interesting, and encouraging, than how they performed during the 201,617 regular season. The summer was one of turmoil. Kyrie Irving forced a trade and he ended up in Boston. General manager David Griffin was fired. Former Detroit Pistons guard Chauncey Billups turned down the job. Assistant general manager Trent Redden also left the Cavs and landed as an assistant GM with the Los Angeles Clippers. Suddenly, 35-year-old Koby Altman was running the Cavs. He was number 3 in the front office behind Griffin and Redden. This could have been a disaster. No one had a clue what Altman would do. Griffin told me several times that he believed Redden and Altman could grow into general managers. No one thought it would be so soon for Altman. Let's start with what matters most. LeBron James is probably having the best season of his Hall of Fame career. That makes life easier for any general manager and coach. Here's what happened this summer. 1. The presence of James helped the Cavs attract Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose on minimum contracts. 2. James also recruited Jeff Green, who has a strong relationship with coach Tyronn Lue from their time together in Boston. 201,113. Lue was a big factor in convincing Green to come to Cleveland. 3. Altman resigned Kyle Korver, now a huge move given what he's done in clutch time coming off the bench. They were able to retain Korver before he hit the open market. 4. One of Altman's first moves was signing Jose Calderon to a veteran's one-year deal. I was one of many wondering why Altman would guarantee the 36-year-old point guard any money. He appeared to be finished as an NBA player last season. Altman was right on Calderon. He is an excellent fit with this team and is thriving. 5. Altman made the Irving deal with Boston. Irving has been terrific with the Celtics, who lead the Cavs in the Eastern Conference. In return, the Cavs received Jay Crowder, Isaiah Thomas, Ante Zizic and Brooklyn's 2018 first-round pick. 6. Crowder is still working to fit in with the Cavs. Thomas is still working out to come back from his hip injury. Zizic looks like a long-term project as a big man. This is a trade that is impossible to evaluate right now. 7. Altman pushed hard to bring Cedi Osman back from Turkey. I wondered if the 22-year-old Osman was ready to help this season. We'll see about the playoffs, but the rookie has a role right now. He hustles, defends and can run the court in fast break situations. He has brought some energy to the second unit for about 10 minutes a game. 8. Remember, James is the sun, and all the other planets and stars with the Cavs revolve around him. But it's clear Altman has worked well with Lue, James and the other key people with the Cavs. He stabilized the situation. Looking back, when the Cavaliers were in Washington on November 3, they had a 35 record and had lost 4 in a row. Lue told the media, "I haven't slept in days." James was talking about the team struggling and the need to turn things around. James also talked about the team being depleted with injuries to Tristan Thompson and Derrick Rose. The Cavs beat Washington that night, 130,122. But James needed to score 57 points to make that happen. Then the Cavs lost their next game to the Atlanta Hawks. At Quicken Loans Arena, Wade and other veterans on the bench pointed the finger directly at the starters. Soon, the Cavs were 57 and a mess. Altman's front office was being criticized for not bringing in players to keep the Cavs playing at an elite level. Lue was having a hard time figuring out what combinations to play on the court. The turnaround then, the Cavs began to win, and win, and win. James and Wade were the leaders. But some credit should go to Lue, who held things together. Some of Altman's acquisitions began to produce. It seems Lue and Altman work well together. Their ISNTU sense the front office is overmatched. James has never been shy about criticizing the front office, and he's been very content lately with the roster. Lots of tests are coming for Altman and his top assistant, Mike Ganzi. There will be pressure to make a major deal as the trading deadline approaches. But if the team continues to play well, especially after Thomas is active, is it wise to make a major change? Those will be questions the front office will face. But so far, it's been encouraging. Comforting silence. 1. Early in the season, the Cavs were a national story because they were losing. It was supposedly a dysfunctional team. Wade and James were forming a clique, and others resented that. No one was happy. 2. Discontent and strife also makes for a better national story. It sets up the LeBron leaving speculation. You still hear that occasionally. James to the LA Lakers has lingered for months. Early in the week, it was James to the Houston Rockets, according to a USA Today story. 3. But for the most part, the Cavs, having won 16 of 17 heading into Saturday's game, and has been greeted with a yawn on the national stage. The Cavs winning and James rolling is an old, boring story to them. 4. But the Cavs winning with a retooled roster that is not why healthy is a good story. At the start of the season, Tristan Thompson and Thomas would have been projected as starters, whenever Thomas recovered from his hip injury. He's not coming back for at least a few more weeks. Thompson calf injury has played only 9 games, Rose only 7. Neither has a role in the hot streak. 5. Iman Shumpert had knee surgery on deck. 1. He's out at least 6 more weeks. 6. The Cavs have come together as a team, thanks to some smart coaching by Lou and the veteran leadership. Not only James and Wade, but Channing Frye, Kyle Korver and Jeff Green have worked hard to make sure things blend together. 7. Finally, Kevin Love is having an all-star season, averaging 19.4 points and 10.5 rebounds. His shooting percentages .472 overall, .396 on three-pointers are the best in his 4 seasons here. 8. Seldom mentioned is that the Cavs were 2,510 in games where Love and James played together and Irving was out the previous 3 seasons. Love is thriving in this environment.